What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back again. It is Jordan Jones, CJ Jones riding with me today. Another
I ride
episode
with you every day. You act like every intro is wait, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's like every intro
for like 2 seconds. Can I just please do me for 2 seconds?
All right, do you?
I have my whole little spiel that I set up to start the show.
Well, you offended me.
Every week you gotta come in cutting me off. Like, why you gotta do a brother like that? We are blood. Just let me be me. Can I be me?
You
please?
acted like we haven't been brothers for 26 years. Almost 27 years.
Almost 27 years.
Yeah, so like you should have knew I was gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
You know what something to say.
Well, I'm tired of it.
Okay, my bad. My bad. Do what you gotta do, fam. Do what you gotta do.
All right, let's press rewind. Welcome to another episode of Talk That Sport. It is Jordan Jones. CJ Jones is riding again with me. We are kicking it off. Today is a very special day. We are going to hit y'all with some fantasy news, and you are riding with two reigning fantasy football champs, myself and CJ. Let's get it. I know, right? Yeah. But before we talk some fantasy, how you been doing, brother?
I've been good, man. I've been freaking good. Except for these hot links that we found at Winco, bro. Like, these are the hottest links. I can't tell y'all a brand. Don't ask me what brand they are, guys. I don't know. Like, Muff picked out some new ones, and like, I was working late in the garage the other day, and I wasn't expecting them to be so hot, so I came inside, made me a big old plate, put some mayonnaise, put some barbecue sauce on them, and I bite into it, Jordan. I'm like, yo, that thing got some spice, and I just ate one right before the show, so like my chest is kind of burning right now. Old people problems. Old people problem. Man, I'm like, dang, I need some antacids or something. But no, other than that, fam, I'm good. I'm chilling. Enjoying the week. Ready for it's a fantasy week for me, so like this is one of my biggest weeks of the year. So
what day is you draft?
Sunday.
Ooh.
8:00. I gotta check our commissioner because our commissioner's full of shit sometimes. Zamora try to like say like 7:00, so I gotta make sure the draft's actually at 8:00. This is where I won't be late to the draft. This is what I'm making sure. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of prep this week. Just focusing on fantasy for a week for the most part.
Okay.
What about you? I haven't talked to you. Like I talked to you earlier today, and I looked down when I called you today. I was like, shit, I haven't talked to Jordan since I don't know Sunday. No, before.
Yeah, we talked a little bit Monday. We did the show Saturday. Yeah, we haven't talked much honestly in the past week.
Well, you've been busy. I've been busy. So yeah. I was like, I need to call Jordan. Are we doing a show today?
Yeah. Work has been kicking my butt. So for those of y'all that don't know, like I work one job, but I have like 15 million different roles within that one job. And the beginning of the semester, because if y'all haven't heard the podcast before, I work at a university here in Abilene. So so when the start of the semester goes, I am super, super, super busy. So I'm exhausted. So it's not getting any easier for at least another month or two. So
you signed up for it.
I did, and I'm okay with that. I enjoy what I do, but I have the right to be tired when I'm tired.
I got you. So wait, this is your graduation semester, right?
Yep, I have 7 weeks left of class.
7 weeks until my brother has his master's degree.
Yes, a long time coming. I have been through 2 master's programs, pretty much completely, because I always joke around and say I'm literally one class away from being a marriage and family therapist because I'm literally one class away from that.
Wait, will you ever take that one class?
I have like 7 years to do it. Well, I have to finish it within 7 years. I'm in year 5, so I have to do it within the next 2 years. But I'm starting my doctorate in January, so probably not.
so guys, this is ready for if this podcast will be going on for 2 more years.
Oh yeah, it will.
This is something we do. This is just normal shit for us anyway. But like when that day comes, it's gonna be Doc Jordan on the show. Then
I will be officially called Dr. Jones. And you know, some people that like have like doctorates are oh yeah, just call me Jordan or all this. No,
put some respect on that shit.
No,
that's Dr. Jones right there.
I graduated with my undergraduate 4 years ago, and I still have 3 more years left of school. I have been in school. By the time I have that doctorate, I would have been in school for 7 additional years on top of my undergraduate degree. I earned that name. So you will be calling me Dr. Jones, Dr. J. will always be what you call me. My wife's gonna call me Dr. Jones, which
I guarantee Lexi won't be doing that. But I have petitioned that our nieces and nephew call you Uncle Doc. Like, I really want Uncle Doc to come around.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I call you JW, but I'm gonna be like, hey, that's your Uncle Doc right there.
Yep, that is fine. I earned it, and I am gonna embrace it. It is what it is. But yeah, my week has been outside of that. I mean, it's still been crazy in my personal life too. In general, we're so you know how we painted our cabinets, and we messed them up.
I was gonna mention it. I was gonna say, do y'all mess them up? But okay,
we definitely messed them up. So we're having we paid for somebody to come in and paint our cabinets. So they started that this week. Yeah, no, but. You would think we're balling with the price it is, but
God, yes.
But no, we had to get it done, so we have that going on right now. Lexi implemented a no shoes in the house rule, so that's a fun little thing that we're doing now. So
like at all, like
never. So when you walk in the house, your shoes come off when you like. You can. We have like little bench by our front. You haven't been to our house since we got the.
I know. I'm coming.
Yeah, but you saw the pictures though. You know how we have the little bench in the front. Yeah, so now it's like you kick your shoes off in there. But I mean, that's fine with me because I normally wear house shoes in the house anyway. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, so that's a new thing that we have going on. So that's fun. And yeah,
we're not doing the no shoes at our house yet, but the next house. Muffin's already told me it's like shoes off at the door, like at all, like brand new house, never out. But I'm a barefoot person, so like I don't care about shoes being on the house. You know, I don't wear shoes. I walk outside barefoot. I used to drive y'all to school barefoot.
Yeah,
with the foot hanging out the car, out the door. That Corolla.
I remember.
Shout out to Bertha the Bucket. Hey, you had to get to school somehow.
No, I get it. I mean, like I said, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me. I'm fine with it. I'll embrace it. It's just a fun little thing that we have going on now in our house. Yeah.
So are you and Lexi cooking anything scrumptious? Because like, guys, for y'all don't know, my sister-in-law keeps posting all these meals. I used to think Jordan's chef in that family, but Lexi has been throwing it down. Yeah. She's even sent me the recipes. I'd be like, yo, Lex, what's up with that right there? So what's on the menu for this week? Anything crazy?
So fun thing, I cooked dinner this week.
You cooked dinner this week?
My bad. So I made because Lexi had to work on Monday and she works Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So normally when she works like that kind of schedule, I try and pick up the slack and cook during the week. So I made tacos for dinner.
Cool.
Delicious. So we did chicken tacos. Really simple, really easy. And then I made spaghetti. A little story behind the spaghetti, if I may.
Is it Jordan spaghetti?
Yeah. Well, not like the weird spaghetti with the sugar. No. Yeah. That's a story for another day.
Okay, I got you. I'm listening.
No. So with this spaghetti, so Lexi went out of town. She went to Dallas probably about a month ago now. Yeah.
Thanks for coming to visit, Lexi.
Yeah, she went down there to get her hair done, and her grandma was in town, so she hung out with her and stuff. Well, so while she was out of town that weekend, I got me some food and stuff that I was gonna eat over the weekend. And one of the things I got was like some spaghetti sauce, and like I got some stuff to make spaghetti. Mm-hmm. Well, so for those of y'all who know me in general, know that like I actually really enjoy ramen. And like I also really enjoy like the little burritos that you get at like Kroger or whatever grocery store you go to. So I went and got some of that and like some different snacks and stuff to eat. Like,
so we talking top ramen?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking you're talking about ramen.
No, just like the little 50-cent ramen that you get.
I got you.
So I went to the store and I got some of that. I got like one of those for that night because I didn't feel like cooking Friday night. But then I got like food to actually make that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what happened is I ate that ramen in that burrito, and I got 2 of each. I ended up eating all of that night, and I was like, man, I miss this stuff. This stuff's so good. So I ended up just eating all of that. Like I just ate ramen, bean burritos, and like popcorn and candy and stuff the entire weekend. My wife was gone, didn't cook a thing, like legitimately. Not because like I was like lazy and didn't want to cook. I just really enjoyed it and missed it. And I can't eat it really when Lexi's here because she actually wants real food when we eat. So understandably, but like
you are a child.
Yeah. I know, I really am a child.
And it's coming from the person who we buy the ramen in packs, but you are a child.
Yeah, I know. But we finally ate it. So we finally made that spaghetti that I had bought that weekend. So yeah, fun stuff.
Well, let's get into it. So as always, CJ did not look at our run sheet. I don't think we made a run sheet this week. So I was going to say a transition.
We have a run sheet. As always, if you did, well, okay, I guess not as always, because we just started this a couple weeks ago. But because we had guests on the last 2 episodes, we haven't been able to do it. But it's time for another episode of Women Ball 2.
See, I knew you was going to mess it up. Jordan, what are you drinking? Is the next
Okay. That's normally just like a conversational thing.
Oh, my bad. Never mind. All right. But Women Ball 2.
CJ, what are you drinking?
No, I don't care.
What are you drinking, CJ?
I don't care anymore.
I'm sorry.
I'm drinking Wild Turkey.
There you go.
101 Kentucky bourbon. I'm gonna take one to the head right now.
Go ahead. Shot. Funny that you mentioned that because I'm already beer down. So it's time for another episode of Miller Lite.
Over here. Crack Cody.
Yeah.
All right. So for this week's Women Ball 2, all right, I'm gonna shout out to our lady ballers who in the bubble have. Wait, I'm just recapping WNBA. All right, recapping WNBA right now. The Vegas. I'm sorry, I've been drinking a little bit. All right, but the Las Vegas Aces are still killing everybody. The Sparks are killing people. Sparks on a 7-game win streak. Aces on a 9-game win streak. Our Dallas Wings, our hometown homies, they are in the playoffs as of right now. They're the 8th seed. We're half a game out of 7 seed, and we have a chance to keep coming. Arike is balling. She leads the league in scoring. All right. As far as other people go, I mean, the other team's been. Allie Quigley's been balling too. So it's been Courtney Vandersloot. So it's been like a lot of different women right now in game balling. Now the team that's really surprised me is Washington. They've had some injuries this year. They fell down. They're the defending champions. It doesn't look as of right now they're going to make the playoffs. But I'm interested to see some tonight's games. So there's 3 games on the slate tonight. So I'll be tuning into that. But some of the stories I want to cover, we had some very important injuries, especially for us. Our cousin, who was part of Indiana Fever, Victoria Vivens, she had a knee injury. She's in her season. Our couple Wings players, Mariah Jefferson, who's battled injuries the last, I think, 3 seasons, really. She's out she just left the bubble for injuries, and Isabel Harrison. So we want to shout out all the ladies who came into the bubble, had some injuries, had really good seasons. Like Isabel Harrison was having one of her best seasons, especially being one of our defensive rim protectors for Dallas this year. So it's so sad to see her leave the bubble. But, it's a good thing. I still think it's hard for me not to say Asia Wilson's going to be MVP this year. She's just been so dominant. As much as like Arike leading the league in scoring, it's like she made a block last night.
Yeah.
I mean, the other night that was like, yo, don't bring that shit in here. The only thing she missed was a stank face. And Bill Lambeer's her coach, so I'm surprised Bill didn't make her get some stank behind it.
Yeah. Didn't you say that she's slowly becoming like your enemy in the WNBA?
No. That's Nafisha fucking Collier.
Okay.
Nafisha, I will never I would love having Nafisha on the show. But okay, so the Nafisha Collier story it's not that I don't like Nafisha Collier. I'm just so I'm a ride or die. And so with me being a Wings fan, as much as I don't like Arike, I love Arike. She's now a Wing. But when she was at Notre Dame, when she had that shot of our cousin and broke our heart in Mississippi State, hurt me a little bit. And we drafted her, so I'm okay with it, though. But Arike should have won Rookie of the Year last year. Nobody had better scoring numbers. She didn't have the assist category. She didn't have high turnover ratios, but she was the most electrifying rookie last year. But since Nafisha was on the winning squad in Minnesota, she gets Rookie of the Year while putting up subpar stats. I don't think she was the second best rookie last year, Nafisha. But this year, as much as I do not like Nafisha Collier, girls balling, girls hooping. She's hooping like the pick she was picked at. So it's a good little combination.
All right then.
And they were in her pick back to back, so it's a little domination. So that's what I got.
Okay. All right. So
I didn't know if I was doing transitions or you're doing transitions.
Oh no, I was just gonna say yeah. So I'm like kind of like a fair weather WNBA fan.
We're Jordan. We're working something for you. We're working on something. We're gonna get you into the club.
Okay,
I bought your hat.
I just need the Dallas Wings to be good. Okay, like legitimately good, not like on the verge of being good.
So they're only 1 year removed from being legitimately good. They were in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had the best record in the league, and then they lost 8 straight games that year and went from the 2 seed to the 7 seed. Last year was a year Skylar Diggins had her baby, so she didn't play. Yeah. The team was really young, and we traded our best player, Elizabeth Cambage, to Las Vegas. So it kind of hurt us last year's transition, but this team is really young right now. This is like the ideal time to come in for this team. This team reminds me a lot. You're going to see a lot of teams like this, and you're going to see this in Indiana. You're going to see this in Dallas. You're going to see this in Atlanta. These 3 teams right there that have big youth movements and good coaches that allow them to grow. Even New York, after having probably another 2 drafts, New York will be just like this too. So like this is the perfect time. Now you don't have to root for Dallas. You could always come in. Like I was a Houston Comets fan when the WNBA started. I love the Houston Comets. 4 straight championships. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops. I love those ladies. Then Houston, I was a Houston Comets fan till they folded. And when they folded, Tulsa had a team. Yeah. And I just got so lucky that Tulsa moved to Dallas. So when Detroit, Tulsa, Dallas. So we got lucky having a team in our lap. So you don't have to root for Dallas. Like what I say is find a player. If you find like a player that you follow, you like I love Candace Parker. She's my favorite. I can't root for the Sparks, but I root for Candace. Find you a player. There's plenty of great personalities, great players to follow in the league, and it is latch on to the team. Like right now, we're gonna this league is gonna change with Sabrina Ionescu. Like she's not playing right now due to an ankle injury, but Sabrina she's gonna have like, you don't want to say she's like LeBron James, but as far as culture changing in the league, Sabrina's that next player. Like she's the next echelon of. So you had your Lisa Leslie, you had your originals, right? And then you had your Dynasty, your Supers and Dynasty Rises. Then you had your Candace Parker and Sylvia Fowles, and your Angel McCoughtry's. And then you started getting to this new age of players where you get Stewie, you get Asia Wilson. So you have these players, but like they're slowly starting to grow in popularity to see it. But Sabrina Ionescu like took over the league from a different aspect. Like people, like nobody watches West Coast basketball unless you're on the West Coast. But people were staying up watching Sabrina play at Oregon, and she's played on a national scale, and she is the next big thing for the WNBA. So if she hits, it's going to open up brand new market, especially when we're playing in New York. It's going to do something different for you. So you kind of just got to find a player. So like, there's going to be a lot of Liberty fans just because they're rooting for Sabrina. I have a Sabrina Ionescu jersey. I love Sabrina Ionescu. Does that mean I'm rooting for the Liberty? If they're not playing the Wings. But I'm just diehard to the Wings now. I've even though we have family that plays for the Fever, I root for them too. But we're not in the same conference, so it don't matter.
I feel you. Well, it's time to talk about what we really want to talk about today. Some fantasy football.
Oh, we're skipping whose jersey you're wearing?
Yeah, I want to really dive into this today. I got a call it time. So, by the way, shout out to our little brother Christian Jones.
Who just had a birthday? Today. Shout out!
I know, right? Yeah.
We forgot to shout out my last week, and he just asked a wild turkey is key. Thank you,
Christian. Wild turkey is key. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, funny. Then we also got Critical Condition up in the chats. What's up, y'all? Yeah, we're actually joining their fantasy league, which is going to be awesome. I'm excited to do that this year.
Tell me more.
Yeah, so next Monday we have a draft.
We do. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, I literally just called you about it this morning.
I know, Jordan. I'm just trying to build the suspension a little bit. All right, yeah. Come on. Play along with me.
Yeah, so we have that going on. That's going to be fun, so I'm excited. But I mean, what better way to start fantasy than with a question? So shout out to Steven Drakes. He has a question for us. So let's just go for it. What do y'all think about Kerryon Johnson, Ridley, and Anthony Miller in full PPR? CJ, what's your thoughts?
See, the person that comes out to me is Ridley. I think he's going to be the most consistent. I don't know if Kerryon's going to end up being healthy enough to stay around the whole season. I take it from a person who drafted Kerryon Johnson multiple times, wishing Kerryon Johnson, Kerryon Johnson is never Kerryon Johnson. In that mix and those three people, Ridley's going to be the most consistent for me. I think personally, I think he's going to have he's the number 2 receiver. So he's going to have he's not going to have the best corner on him, and he's in the offense that likes to throw the ball. So Matt Ryan will throw that. Yeah, he's just so inconsistent. He's just so inconsistent.
So from a person who has had both Ridley and Kerryon Johnson on his team last year in my championship roster, which if you weren't tuning in earlier, like I said, me and CJ both were fantasy champs. So you're not hearing from no scrubs on
this
here.
Year.
Just last year. So very current. And Ridley was my go-to flex one last year in my PPR league. And it started out, actually I drafted him for that position too. So it was great. Actually I drafted him as a flex too because I had, who did I have in there? Oh yeah, because I had like three. I had a 3 running back.
So many flexes in your league.
Man, we had 2. We had 2 flexes. Yeah. But yeah, so I had Ridley in there. And dude balled out. Like, honestly, you could always count on him to at least get you 10 points. Most times, though, he would get you 15, 17. Boy got catches and boy got yards. It was nice. Kerryon Johnson, don't trust him with the injuries. And also, because Kerryon Johnson's up there with the Lions still, right?
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is going to be playing a lot.
There we go.
So I wouldn't even touch Kerryon Johnson. He's going pretty early in a lot of leagues. Like fairly early in a lot of leagues. I'm staying away from him. What I would really go to, if y'all are looking for some running backs to like stash in late rounds, look at guys like look at some of these rookies. Like I said, DeAndre Swift. Look at guys like J.K. Dobbins, who's playing. Look at guys like Jonathan Taylor. Look at guys like Cam Akers. Like those are some of those younger guys that may get a lot of playing time this year that a lot of people are passing on until probably like the 9th, 10th, 11th round. So if you can get one of those guys, you can definitely make some damage. But I mean, if you're looking PPR, always I lean a lot towards receivers when it comes to a full PPR league, just because with running backs, one, you can only there's a huge drop off from like your top 10 running backs to like some scrubs at the bottom. So if you're not going to get one of the top guys, I'm always going after somebody. Always going after a bunch of receivers.
Well, I feel like that's where me and Jordan kind of differ again, which is not very. This is very pretty much off. Even though we had 2 very, very similar stacked teams last year.
Yeah,
like I remember Colin. We had like a lot of the same players. But for me, if there's a top running back available, I'm big on running backs because running backs are a dime a dozen in fantasy. You can't just plug them. But I also want versatile running backs. So like Saquon. What's up, Jay?
What up?
I like having versatile.
Sorry. I was gonna say, Jay's one of our podcast friends from OLF Podcast. So if you haven't checked them out, go ahead and check them out as well.
But no. But yeah. So with me, I've always I want to take the best running backs. I want to try to get the best running backs in a draft. But if I can't, I will. If the top 4, like this year, I've ranked 4 running backs that I won in the first round. If I can't get those 4, I'm gonna take the next best pass receiver in the PPR. But I played in a league that was not full PPR until last year, so we were very running back dominant before that. But now there were PPR. We've seen a little changes last year, so it's good. So let's talk about how fantasy is important to you. So how big is your fantasy season and weeks go? Because you've been playing with the same guys for how long now?
So we started in 2014, I believe. We've been going for about 6 years. There's been a core of us that have played in the league for the longest. So probably myself, Alex, Rich, Anthony, Mike, and Troy's been in and out so he was in for a few years, stepped away for a few years, hopped back in. So we've played together for a long time. And this last year was actually my first time winning. I played in the champion. I've won in another league before, I played in the championship 1 year, and then when I first took over as commissioner in 2016, I had 3 straight horrible seasons where I didn't even touch the playoffs. I was literally jinxed until last year when I just like dominated. Yeah, so yeah, but I love the guys. It's been great playing with them. It's our way of staying connected. We've always like I feel like especially like once you get out of college and you're not seeing everybody all the time. We all live in a lot of different places. It's kind of our way to just, talk to each other, reach out. I mean, we have a group chat that we hit up all the time. Funny story. Christian's actually in our league this year.
Okay, guys, it's not a fucking funny story. It's actually a fucking horrible story. I have yet to be invited to this league. At all. But our younger brother, who can care less about fantasy at all.
So here's the story behind that, okay? So the reason why I invited Christian to the league instead of you is because you had to adopt a team. Like you weren't going to get to pick your team because it happened after draft day.
I would adopt a team.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to, okay? And I knew Christian probably would, and we were in a time crunch, okay? So I would have to somebody who I knew would probably take the team. Christian was like excited to take it. And, okay, you're already in the league too. Christian doesn't play fantasy football. He's been wanting to learn. Okay. So let him play, let him learn. This is a great learning opportunity for him to learn.
How did he do last season?
Christian?
Yeah.
This is his first year.
Oh.
He's just taking over this year. He just took over.
I thought he played last year.
No, we didn't have remember because we tried to get y'all I tried to get him last year and he didn't want to do it.
I got you.
Yeah, because he is still wanting to. Because Christian's a baby when it comes to football and stuff, learning and everything. So yeah,
it's gonna be funny. We'll have weekly Christian updates. See how good he manages his teams.
Yeah,
it's always fun having those first year fantasy players because there's 2 ways this goes. Well, it's 3 ways. They're really good off the start. They have a great team and they go straight to the championship game. They have a shitty team and they just tank and forget about they're sitting people on bye weeks.
Exactly.
Or their team is just not that good and not that bad and always beats the best teams.
Yep.
So it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be really weird seeing them.
Definitely.
So I feel you. Like fantasy, it's a way to keep people in contact. Like for me and you, I think it's built our relationship up over the course of the last 2 years. Talking fantasy because, like, to be honest, it's pulling back the curtain a little bit. Like a lot of times, me and Jordan didn't talk a lot on the phone. You don't know how to talk to your brother for like an hour or so. You don't check on each other and stuff like that. But our mom passed away 2 years ago, and I think it really became something cool for us to get on the phone on Tuesday or Wednesday and talk about like who we beat in our fantasy league and who you picking up this week. And it was kind of cool. Like it led for like hours of conversation with me and Jordan. Like, so like that's a lot of like fantasy. I've been playing with the same guy since 2010. This is 2010. Yeah, 2010. And that league is like with my best friends. Like 2 of the people that were at my wedding are in that league. People I worked with for 5 years. It's a pretty cool and unique league. We have special rules to it and stuff like that. So I love playing with those guys. And unlike I was total opposite of you, Jordan. I went to my first year in the league. I went to championship game, lost. Then I went to 3 more championship games, including 3 in a row.
Wow.
Right? 3 in a row. So first year in the league, I went to the championship game, lost. Second year in the league, I made a horrible trade for Robert Griffin III. Not Robert Griffin III. Who did I trade for that year? I traded for LaShawn McCoy, who stank it up that year. I lose. I don't make the playoffs that year. I go 3-9. The next year, I go to the championship game, lose because AJ Green gets knocked out on the play against the Steelers, and Antonio Brown destroys me. The next year after that, I go back to the championship game, but play the greatest team ever assembled. We still think in modern day fantasy history, Jordan. Kinsey had everybody in her lineup was top 7 in points scored. Every player in her lineup was as the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl. It was Larry. Okay. She had Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Devontae Freeman. They were all Matt Ryan was number 1, Devontae Freeman was number 3, and like Julio Jones was number 2 in points scored that season. Yeah. And she had Calvin Johnson.
Okay. So basically, she was the Cowboys in the 90s, and you were the Bills.
Speaking of that, that's my team name because after I lost 4 straight,
Why not?
after I lost 4 championship games, I had to name my team the Bills. I say, fuck it, let's name the Bills.
Yeah, why not?
So I go back again. I lose to my arch nemesis, Corey, who became the first 2-time champ. I hate Corey. Fuck that guy. All right. But since then, I've won 2 of the last 3 championships in my league. And I finally got that moniker off. I'm 2-4 in championship games now, but it doesn't matter. I'm a 2-time champ, and there's only 2 of us in our league. So that doesn't make sense. I love it.
Okay. So I was going to say, let's dive into some fantasy talk. So do you play any daily fantasy?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. How you doing it?
Is my wife watching? I don't think she is. All right. Okay. I do decent. See, I play a lot. Do you play like the lottery pots, or do you play like the head-to-heads? I play head-to-heads. You play head-to-heads? Okay. Yeah, because like I do good. I probably back in like my degenerate days, I would invest like probably 50 a week in daily DFS. Dang. So yeah. Yeah, I had a problem. I see. But I mean, there's been weeks where I cleared $300, $400 in daily. And there's some weeks I've lost every penny I put in the thing. So I like daily fantasy. For me, it's cool if I feel like I have a hot lineup that I've been playing with. Yeah. But it's not something like really last year I didn't do it at all. 2 years ago I was full in. But last year I was paying for a wedding. So I can understand why I didn't do that shit. So. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not a daily fantasy player. I like the trash talk that goes with your week by week matchups and stuff. And I don't really play fantasy for the money itself. I mean, the money's a nice little. No, I play for the money. I play for money and bragging rights. Yeah, I do it mostly for bragging rights. I talked like so much trash to all my friends over the past year. I went out and bought my own trophy. Granted, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be when I bought it, but like I plan on when I win the pot this year, which we upped it to 75 this year. Yeah, I'm trying to get us up to like over 100. Like I'm trying to get into the. Oh, that was 75 person, right? Yeah, I went 75 person now. I'm trying to get us to at least 100. I tried to get us 100 in our league. Our league said, "Nah, we can't do 100." I'm like, let's find a $100 league, Jordan. I know. Yeah, but yeah, so I do it mostly to just show I'm better than them. Like that's really what it like comes down to. Yeah. So. Wait, wait. Would you be open if me and you just did a week to week, head to head on daily fantasy? It'd keep everything interesting. I mean, put some money like what, $10 a week? We can put. Man, okay, we still got Christian's wedding coming up. I got Mike getting married. That's not till February. Y'all trying to send me into the house. I have my wife's birthday coming up. All right, I have your. Time I get you something for birthday. I got gifts from you for Christmas still on the floor over here. I need a birthday gift. We got too many, and we got Christmas. Your birthday gift? Well, my birthday's first, so I need a birthday gift too. And this is a big one for me. So I'm just letting you know that. Look up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right. So what's your? I play single entry league sports. Sports not fun without it anymore. Yeah. Hey, I mean, teach our own. Like Rich, one of my friends, he always into that stuff, and he plays it literally all the time. I'm just not really for me. I like the competitive nature that comes with fantasy football and playing against people. Well, have you did DFS yet? I haven't. So you don't understand how competitive it is. Yeah. Especially like if you get in a group, because you can have groups where you just being like, if it was like, let's say me, you, Rich. Christian and a couple of people want to be in there. We could be in there all together. Okay. A person takes off, so you can kind of make it kind of whatever, or you can play in the lottery pots. Which I don't play with those because there'd be a fucking bunch of bots in there. For me, so I don't know. It just depends. It really just depends. Okay. So let's talk about something. Let's talk about first pick. So when you're looking at your pick, let's start first. If you have an early round pick, not early round pick, an early slot pick. So let's say you're drafting like 1 through 4 or 1 through 3, because I feel like that's kind of early. So you want to list my top 3? Yeah, who are your top 3 in fantasy this year? You have to take right then. Saquon, because if there's one thing Jason Garrett can do, is use the shit out of a running back. That is true. So Saquon, I know that'll make Alex happy. I'll take Saquon 1. Oh man, it's hard. You know how I feel about McCaffrey. Like I feel like he's a 5 in my rankings, but for the sake of this pod, I'm gonna put McCaffrey at 2. All right. I feel like McCaffrey still has the best option, and I don't know how the offense is gonna look with Teddy, but I believe in Joe Brady because I saw what he did with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And then if I'm 3, right? I'm 3 is 3A and 3B, right? There's only 2 people put this pick. There's Zeke and there's Mike Thomas. There's only 2 people I put at 3 because like it depends on where you want to build a team because they're both gonna score you a lot of points. So me personally, I would have Mike Thomas because I feel like if I had a 3rd pick, Zeke would be advertising, but Mike Thomas is gonna get 150 catches. Like he's gonna get 150 catches, like off top, unless he gets hurt. All right, he may score you 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he's worth it. Zeke may get you 1,800 and 12 touchdowns. So like that's where you gotta look at with 50 catches. So that's probably the top 3 I'm going with. Who are you going with? Top 3.
So I'm gonna rock with critical condition here. So they have my top 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw it up in order. So Christian McCaffrey, still my number 1 guy. Reason behind this, he literally carried my fantasy team, him along with the Dak Prescott, to the championship last year and won it for me. So, and everything that they've done this year shows me that it's going to be that way again. So definitely rocking with them. Would have to draft him in the top 3, hands down. Saquon, number 2. Dude, Jason Garrett. Like, that's really only the reason why. Like, I don't really like injuries, but Jason Garrett's gonna get him the ball. Like,
people think Saquon, Jerry, he doesn't know how to use Saquon. I will point people back down to DeMarco Murray in 2014.
Yeah,
like look at that DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
He used the shit out of him. And look at Zeke rookie year. So those are your 2 examples. Knowing if Jason Garrett does what he did, those 2 people, those are league winners.
Yeah. Well, and everybody talks about, Saquon Barkley can catch out of the backfield and all this stuff, and that's what you want to utilize. Honestly, it doesn't even matter if Jason Garrett gives him if Jason Garrett's going to give him the ball 30 times a game, so he's going to be fine. Like whether it's handoffs or passes, he's going to get the ball and he'll make a play. So you're going to get a lot of workload out of Saquon. And then lastly, you have to go with Zeke. Zeke is going to be killing it. Like this year, he is going to thrive in the Mark McCarthy offense. But I will say, if you get Zeke, handcuff him to Tony Pollard. If you don't have that handcuff, go out and make a trade for him or go out and get him. Tony Pollard, you can get him late in the rounds, so you don't have to spend an early round pick on him. But get him because Tony Pollard will get a lot of touches this year. And there might be some chances for you to use both of them in some of those games, like when we're playing the Redskins or the Giants. So look out for that this year. Yeah. Throw out some other ones. So Jay Jerk has Murray, which, okay, dude, I like Kyler Murray this year. Like as a whole, you do not take quarterbacks in the first round. Okay. Like rule number 1.
Wait, Jay, I got a question for you. Are you talking about taking Murray number 1, or are you talking about he's your top, like that's what you want to be your top 3? Like, I hope you're not taking Murray. You can get him in like
either
6th,
one is
7th
wrong.
round.
Either one is wrong. Do not take a quarterback first of all in the top 4 rounds. Okay. Only reason I broke this rule this year is because our fantasy draft went crazy, which that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I have to tell. But yeah, like we had like 10 quarterbacks go in like the first like 3 rounds. Like,
but that happens. That happens. Yeah. You gotta kind of. So like, wait. So like, you've drafted already, and I know this is going to cost, but you drafted already. So yeah, did you have quarterbacks you were targeting pre-draft?
Oh yeah, there was only one quarterback that was going to be my starter, and
you wanted Dak.
Yeah, Dak. My team name is literally In Dak We Trust, so it was going to be kind of counterintuitive if I didn't have Dak on my team. So yeah, I'm gonna live and die by the Cowboys. Like that's just what it is. Like I trust him over any other quarterback in the league.
So quarterbacks are not that important to me. I've been to a championship game. I've been to a championship game with Alex Smith as a quarterback. All right. Alex fucking Smith. Want everybody to know that. All right. Just want to know that. He took me to a championship game. Now we lost that championship game, but played the greatest fantasy team of all time. So I'm not gonna worry about that. That hurt a lot. We were definitely the Bills. She was definitely Cowboys. They were definitely Bills. No, we were there we go. We were definitely Bills. Okay. But no, so like for me, like this year I'm targeting like Murray, I'm not going to pick him first. All right, thank you, Jay. That's all I need to know. Like, please, fucking God, don't do that for me, man.
Yeah. He did say that he's going to lead the way in quarterback. So I get that. Like, I can see Murray having a big year. I just definitely please do not select him until at least after like the 5th round.
Jay, I am with you because I want Murray as my quarterback. I really do. Shut up, Christian. Nobody cares about the Saints. Sorry. Son of a bitch. But no, I really want Kyler to be my quarterback because I feel like with DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald and what's the name of that running back out there, Kenyon Drake, I think that offense is going to be dynamic, and especially with a coach. Like one thing we know about Cliff Kingsbury, they may not play defense, but they definitely can play offense.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All the time.
They gonna score like 30 points a game.
And me, I have a rule. I'm going to draft quarterbacks until the 9th round, maybe 10th round. I try to get as many skill position players before, but like this year, I may have to break that rule. But I have 2 other quarterbacks. I feel like they'll be confident there. But like I just have to. My problem is I gotta make sure I keep myself calm during that rush because it happens. That round 3 happens, and then Pat goes, Lamar goes, Aaron goes, Brady goes. You're gonna see a bunch of guys. Breeze, you're gonna start from fly off the board. But like me, I keep my 3 guys waiting, and I always normally get one. Like last year, I think I drafted Jimmy G. I think my quarterback last year I was rooting on. But I got Russ last year in my main league, and Russ has always been a solid one for me.
So I was gonna do sleepers next, but I actually want to do draft strategy instead. So what is your draft strategy? Like, how do you set up your board? Do you have like a set? Like, do you go running back, wide receiver, quarterback? Like, what's your kind of go-to strategy that you use?
Jordan, have you ever seen the movie A Beautiful Mind?
No, I have not.
Well, okay. Have you seen that meme of Zach Galifianakis with all the numbers and shit going around it? So I have a notepad that's just like that when it comes to shit. So I have we don't know where I've been trying to like make a draft lottery in our league for all I know a month in advance where I will be picking. But no, I have an hour before our draft starts where I know my place. So what I do is on my notebook, what I do is I have like if I were picking 1 through 4, these are the 4 players I want. I don't ever do 5, 6, 7 because I figure I can always find 5, 6, 7. And then I like 7 or 8, and I always do like the back end. These are players I want here. And then I kind of like grade my players at different positions and different rounds. Like last year was a little different for me. I told you I ended up taking 3 running backs last year. Yeah, first 3 rounds. But it just happened like I took Kamara at 4, because Zeke went at 3. I was hoping Zeke could be there at 4, but he wasn't. But I took Kamara at 3 and 4. I take Nick Chubb on the turnaround. And I take Fournette, who he was good. Like I had played Fournette most of the season last year. So Fournette was decent. Now I do like critical conditions saying take a running back 2 to 3 first rounds. It's when I was in a non-PPR, we had to. Your first 2 round picks are gonna be running backs. You're taking like the best running back available. But this year, I'm really looking at like running back. Like if I get a really good stud running back in that first round. The second round, I think I go receiver because in the 3rd round there I can get, a Joe Mixon, a Joe Mixon, maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't think he's gonna make it to the 3rd round, but maybe he goes to the 3rd round.
He's been going early.
But I feel like I can get some running backs in the later rounds, like a J.K. Dobbins. So I feel like I don't want to be heavy, but I really want to make sure like I have really good skill positions for me personally. But like I'm really crazy. I'm really specific. Like you heard where I have my quarterbacks. But I was trying to get the best running back. Like, I want the best running back available. So if I'm picking one, I'm probably gonna pick the person that I think is gonna have the most touches and most points. But I'm also really big on like charts and strategies. So I look at a lot of fancy insiders. I pay for a fancy insider club and read it to see the rankings because I want to make sure that I have like I'm not messing up the trends. Because when I first started playing fantasy, I used to go against the trends all the time.
Definitely don't go against the trends. I mean, so for me, there's a couple of things that I do. One, I definitely agree with Jay Jerk of OLF. Like you gotta go running back first if you can. There is an exception. So to that, I go running back first if I'm drafting 1 through 4. If I'm drafting 5 through 10 in a PPR, you have to have a PPR. If it's not PPR, it's still running back first in the first round. If it's non-PPR, or if it's PPR, 5 through 10, it is best available. So whether that be a running back or a receiver. And reason being is because after you get past like the first 3 or 4 running backs, you have to get one of the top receivers, because when you go back to draft in the second round, that top receiver that can give you some of the same point totals that running back would get you is not going to be there. So you have to pair them.
So this year you got Saquon, McCaffrey, Z. Who's that fourth running back you would hate? Because I have Mike Thomas at like Mike. I feel like Mike Thomas is at 4. I have DeAndre Hopkins at like 5.
Yeah, and so I see that. I want to say Michael.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, so I want to say Michael Thomas went 4 in our league this year.
But that's where I have him. Like that's
that's fair.
I see your logic there, but if I'm at the 4th pick and I got Mike Thomas there, I'm like, yo, I could take Mike Thomas or Derrick Henry. Mike Thomas. I think Mike Thomas is better than the 4th best running back.
Yeah, but here's my thing. So I drafted 5th in my league. So in the first and second round, I was able to get Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler. So that's 2 very good running backs that I have to go with each other.
I'm in love with one of those picks.
Which one do you not love? And so I can prove you wrong. Derrick Henry? Okay, yeah. So remember how last year he just got the ball a bunch of times and led the way that way? Yeah, that's going to happen again this year. They're going to go with that.
He lost half his starting offensive line.
That's fine. He's still going to run the ball to death. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
His quarterback is fucking Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, he doesn't.
There's so many bad things there.
Yeah, okay, but here's what you got to pair. Like, so you have to look at the rest of your team. So first of all, the receivers that I had available in our league, because receivers just dropped like crazy this year, which is amazing for me because people were drafting all these rookies. So I got Juju Smith-Schuster. I got Keenan Allen. I have one guy that people forget about that is going to have a big year. Mark it. You heard it here first. AJ Green up in Cincinnati is going to have a monster year this season. He fell late in the draft, and you are going to be able to get him for a steal. Sleeper to look out for. Please draft AJ Green if you haven't drafted him. Yeah, because he is going to have a monster season.
So, you really think Derrick Henry's going to have a better year than DeAndre Hopkins? Because you say you picked
I don't.
I don't. Right? You picked 5 this year.
But no, I don't look at it. So you have to look at it as so kind of like wins above replacement almost, but like points above replacement. You have to look at it that way. So Derrick Henry, compared to the next best running back that I would get in the later round, is more valuable than the DeAndre Hopkins compared to a Juju Smith-Schuster or a Keenan Allen that I would get in the later round. So it's just like that.
So, but you have the ability to play the extra flex. So you have 2 flexes. See, I come from a standard league. So we have running backs, a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex, a tight end, a defense kicker, right? So in our league, I guess when I'm looking at it, I look at it by points that I can get. So I have it like from my running back position. So my quarterback position, I want at least 15 points per week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, it may go like who at quarterback. Now, anything, obviously I want 20 points, but like I say the bare minimum I want for my quarterback is 15 points a week. Let me find a quarterback give me 15 points a week. For my running backs, I want, 45 points a week. For my receivers, now it depends on if I'm a 2 receiver team or a 3 receiver team, or my 3 running back team or 2. So like that's where I kind of go. I look, critical condition, I'm high on Clyde, but I'm not taking him until the very end of the second round. I know he's good. Mixon, I'm all in on Joe Mixon. Shit, I might be all in on Joe Burrow, old ass.
I'm not. You want to talk about offensive line? Their offensive line is horrible. Yeah,
it don't matter because Joe can throw the ball 5 yards. Joe Mixon.
I'm not touching.
I'll take 10 receptions for 26 yards.
Yeah,
that's what Joe Mixon can give you.
Yeah, not touching them. Yeah.
See, not sold Henry. Yeah, Dalvin could be a risk. Like, I don't know. He has a stupid ass quarterback right now. Don't get me started. I'm not getting into politics today.
No. Okay, so I want to tell you. Okay, so please watch the whole interview. Like, he wasn't saying that he's not going to wear a mask. He actually will go wear a mask.
No. Jordan, no. Look. I'm not talking about him not wearing a mask.
Okay.
All right, he can do whatever he wants. But he is an American citizen. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to. No, my rationale is like, if I die, I die. I'm like, shut the fuck up. If you die, your wife will be sad and shit.
Yeah, that's
you die because you're being a dumbass. What the fuck? Yes, Hollywood. T. Stokes, my dude.
Hollywood Brown is a sleeper. Like, and I don't know why. Like, he went very late, and people didn't like it because he was very spotty
his stats last year.
Yeah,
his hamstring was bad.
Yeah. So one, you have to look at that, but that's also something to monitor for. But like when it comes to guys like this, so and I want to get into this a little bit because I know we only have like 9 minutes left. Is like later rounds. Like later rounds are where you take the risks. So that's where you get like. So I hate the rule, and we talked about this earlier on the phone. Like I don't draft my kicker or my defense until like the last 2 picks because I am taking risks after I get my like starting like receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks. I'm taking risks on everybody else. So I got like on my bench, I got guys like Will Fuller who should have a monster year this year. If you didn't know, because I think he's going to take over as the number 1 receiver in Houston
until he pulls his hamstring.
Okay, but I like.
But I know you get high risk reward. Yeah.
It's a risk. Yeah, because if he gives me 2 weeks of greatness, then he served his purpose on my team because he's on my bench. I got guys like J.K. Dobbins who will take over as a starting running back in Baltimore. So look out for that. I have Deontay Johnson who will be the number 2 receiver in Pittsburgh this year. I have Mike Williams, who, when he comes back from his injury, will be the number 2 receiver in.
It seems like Ruby said that all times about Mike Williams.
That's
like
fine.
When he comes back for injury.
That's fine. Like I said, high risk, high reward. Yeah. I have guys like I got Tony Pollard, who's going to give me 1 week. He's going to give me 1 week this year. And I am a huge studier of the Cowboys, so I know when that week will come. And then I have guys like Jalen Reagor, Jalen Reagor, how do you say his name?
Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
Who got hurt yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He's going to be out for a few weeks. That's fine. He's on my bench. Yeah, but look at Philadelphia. Their receivers always get hurt. Alshon Jeffrey will have an injury this year. What's his name? Deshaun Jackson will have an injury this year. So Jalen Reagor will get extended play time this year. And when he does, he will have a big game. So yeah, so you want to take some risks when it comes to like your bench. And if you're not taking risk in those late rounds, you're not going to be set up to win because guess what? I picked up A.J. Brown in the waiver wire this year, and he was big for me in the second half of the season. Guys like Cortland Sutton, who I drafted in a late round last year because nobody wanted to touch him because because they didn't think he was going to do good with the question marks in Denver. Christian Kirk, who had a big year for me last year. Nobody wanted to touch him because Larry Fitzgerald was the number 1 wide receiver there. Proved them wrong there. Calvin Ridley was another guy that I got. So like you have to take some risk into consideration because they will pay off for you in the long run.
I believe that. As a guy who signed DJ Shark, Terry McLaurin, and Michael Gallup last year, I was pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about them. All right. So I can get you on that term right there. But for me, like that's all it is. So everything after the 11th round is lottery tickets. Once I've like my first, I think 9 picks. I feel like are my hammer picks. I never draft 2 quarterbacks, never, because I'll stream a quarterback faster than ever, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of look. So after round 9, I'm kind of looking for the best player available. So I'm taking a lot of, and normally in most years I would make it about rookies. I'm looking at rookie receivers. Like this year, my sleeper. I know we're not doing sleepers, but my sleeper is Bryan Edwards for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, I like him.
That's my guy.
Like
6'3", 2. Boy, I've been watching him in practice on YouTube. My guy.
Yeah.
My guy. So, like, I know I'm going to try to snag him up in every league I'm in.
Yeah. And you're probably going to have to draft him a little bit higher now because Tyrell Williams is out for the season. Yeah. So Bryan Edwards is, like, climbing up the chart. So people
I'm
might.
hoping he's like an 11. I hope we get him in the 11th round. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Definitely something got to look out for. I like that pick. Yeah. And Christian Kirk, another sleeper this year because Larry Fitzgerald is the number 3 receiver now with the Cardinals, if y'all did not know that. Like, he is a number 3. One, he's played in the slot for a while now. but he's the number 3 receiver there. Christian Kirk is the number 2 receiver in Arizona. And
the best availability is availability. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Christian Kirk is never available, so it doesn't fucking matter.
He is available. He was he missed a couple games last season, but he was still pretty solid for you.
He missed games that he was in, Jordan. Do you remember those games?
Okay, yeah. But he still showed up and showed out. Like, watch out for him.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. So we have 4 minutes left. So I want to hear, okay, so we talked about, first round strategy. We talked about kind of like your philosophy for when you draft. So I want to know, okay, so when you're looking in the middle rounds, because this is where it really gets tricky, because it always depends on the flow. And you kind of said, ride out the wave and everything when it comes to when a lot of people are buying and buying and buying. Okay, so at the receiver position, let's talk PPR. Who is your guy middle round that you're going after? Like when you're picking up when you're making those notes on your draft board, who are some of those guys that you're looking at to draft in the middle round? Let's talk about round 7, 8, 9, 10, like that kind of area. Who are guys that will be available in those rounds that you definitely want to try and get if they're available when you draft?
7, 8, 9. Okay, so like Nelson Aguilar will be one.
Okay.
Another Raiders guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dude's name? Robbie Anderson. Burners. Okay. Like, so at that point, Deshaun Jackson. Those are the Rager, CeeDee Lamb. Burners are what I'm looking for. I'm looking for guys that can come in and give me 2 catches for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's where I'm looking for. Like, you would say lottery picks, but I'm looking for boom and bust guys. Like, that's what I'm trying to find on Will Fuller. That's what I'm trying to find. Because like Will Fuller's ADP is right now like a 5th round pick. Mm-hmm. But like, if Will Fuller was in there in 7th, I would be happy taking him in 7th. So I'm going through every roster in my head right now and seeing. Scary Terry may be there in the 7th round. I don't think he will. Maybe if Scary Terry's in the 7th, I'll get him. But I'm looking for either possession receivers. They're going to get like 5 catches for 50 yards and maybe a touch. Or I'm looking for the guys who's going to give me 3 passes for 110 yards or 89 yards and a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. But like the perfect epitome of player that goes there is like Deshaun Jackson. A guy that's going to probably get hurt, but when he's playing, he's dangerous. Or like I think Nelson Aguilar is going to have like one of those bounce back seasons and loss, because I don't know what to feel about the Raiders situation out there, but I feel like it's gonna be okay. I feel like I'm taking all those, or even a Larry Fitzgerald who's gonna get you. Larry Fitzgerald is the Frank Gore of receivers. Damn it, all right. Who's gonna like always be like, damn, should I start Larry this week?
Yeah, that's true.
Last week he got me 2 for 16, but this week he may go 8 for 133 and 2 touchdowns. So Fitz is pretty good one. Or I'm looking for tight ends with like injury issues, like Hunter Henry. I think Hunter has one where like Waller, the Hooper for Cleveland. Jimmy Graham, who went to Chicago. Is he still in the league?
Yeah.
I saw Flimo make a video about him. I gotta really watch that video.
Yeah, he's still in the league.
Another free podcast plug. All right, Flimo Raps. Go watch that shit.
Yeah.
Jordan.
What's up?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I just looked at the clock, so I didn't know if we want to keep talking or.
I was just gonna say real quick. For me, I think this is the only part where we disagree. Not gonna have time to talk about it though, but it's all good. Yeah. So for me, I always go with the more dependability in the middle rounds because that's where you kind of build up the substance in your lineup. So you really want to go with some dependability. Now I hit risk about the 10th pick. I start going for risk guys. Yeah. But that's all we got.
No, I got it. Don't you dare step on my outro. Don't you dare do it.
Go ahead.
Guys, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for Aaron Bird and making it sound lovely. And thank you for Oni Music for giving us our dope intro and our dope outro. Guys, we'll see you next week. Jordan, do the thing.